If I were to describe this model kit in one word, it would be unique. There is no Gundam in high grade that looks like this at all. This model kit reinvents high grade, no doubt about it. It gives it an entirely new hand articulation and has pretty much an entire inner frame. Now, this begs the question, is this the best high grade of 2024? Welcome to the UV Hercules channel. My name is Grant, and let's get right into the review. So right here we have the Gundam EX. This Gundam appeared in Requiem for Vengeance. It is a Netflix exclusive anime. It is a 3D anime though, so keep that in mind before you watch. The show was received pretty mixedly from what I saw online. So was this Gundam right here. Definitely has a very unique design if you can't tell. I mean, first off, it has very, very small eyes. The eyes in there are reflective stickers. It comes with 3 pairs of these stickers. I just use the one with the most red because the eyes don't really pop as much as I would like it to. But nonetheless, this mobile suit is extremely detailed. It has probably a 80-85% inner frame. The head does not have an inner frame. The arms right here, the forearms, do not have an inner frame, and the feet don't have an inner frame either. But everything else you build up pretty much by inner frame, and then you put the armor on, which is extremely detailed for high grade. That's usually something you see on master grades or real grades. So that's extremely cool that this kit has it, and I'm very excited to build the Solari Zaku because it also might have that, so that's pretty exciting. This mobile suit is specifically a ground Gundam type. It has the G in front of it, so I'm assuming that means ground Gundam. And this is also a close combat mobile suit, which probably explains these 3 beam sabers right here. Unfortunately, this mobile suit does have quite a bit of stickers, including a couple color correcting stickers, which is a little bit unfortunate. Some of them I do get, but also one of them is a shield and it's in yellow, and I don't get why they just didn't make that as a separate piece. But overall, this mobile suit is super duper cool and extremely detailed, and the articulation is pretty crazy, so let's just get right into that. All right, here we got the ground Gundam. It's focused. So, head is on a very minimal ball joint. However, you can get the nice swivels that you want it to. It can look side to side pretty well. It can go full 360, however the backpack is stopping it. It does have a pretty good down bend too, so that's nice to see. The shoulders do like to pop out, but they can go out about that far. It does have a bicep swivel. The bicep swivel is pretty nice. It has an elbow bend, which goes in about that far. And these hands are crazy. These hands are on pegs. They are not on ball joints. And it's on a hinge. So the wrists can go up about that far, and then they can go down about that far. I've never seen this before on about the 100 Gundam kits I've built. This is pretty crazy. I'm not used to this at all. As well as the arms also have a butterfly joint. It's pretty cool. It does have a little bit of an ab crunch. It does have a rotation. The hip skirt does block it. All these hip skirts move, including the butt flaps, which is very, very nice. The legs can go up that far. However, they do have a drop down hinge that can make them go out even more, which is pretty nice to see. However, I do prefer to keep them up. It just works better. There is a somewhat of a thigh swivel. The knees can bend about that much, which is pretty nice, showing some more of that really, really nice detailing. And the legs are on, or the foot's on hinges and can go back and forth. So this is a lot of articulation for a high grade. Especially these butterfly joints are extremely cool. Like, this mobile suit is just extremely posable, and it also has really long arms. I don't know why it's really long arms. It's probably to accommodate for this weird hinge hand thing. But, I mean, it's some pretty long arms. So that's all I have for the articulation. This right here is pretty much everything that the Gundam EX comes with. We're going to start off with these hands. Once again, these hands are very weird with that peg. There's pretty much a hole right there. By the way, no poly caps in this build at all. And then you just slide it in there. So that's extremely cool. You also do get a trigger finger hand for the beam rifle. Put this guy over here. The beam rifle is very detailed once again. There's a lot of nice molded in detail, and I do appreciate that. There is a sticker for the lens. Nothing new, nothing crazy. The color separation on this is very nice. However, there isn't really any movement in here at all. This is all just a fixed gun. So lens can't move, this other handle can't move, which is completely okay. And you just peg it in right there. It does fold out at the thumb and the 3 fingers, so it's not the style of like sandwich hand. However, this peg is very, very hard to get out. I'm not really worried about it breaking. It's just kind of a pain to get out. So usually I just kind of move the trigger finger out and then just kind of slide it down and then out. So that's just what I prefer to do personally. And then you can take out the hand just like that. And of course, just to get it back in, make sure the trigger's to the hand. And I just dropped that. There we go. Thankfully, it didn't go too far. And then you just peg it in like that. And then you can just peg it in to the wrist like that. So that's him holding the beam rifle. It does not touch the ground even with his monstrously long arms. So that's pretty nice. And of course, when the rifle is not in use, there is a peg right there that you can peg into that hole on the butt. And it will hold just like that. We have the beam sabers. It comes with 4 beam saber hilts. However, it only can store 3. They just had 2 of them on the B runner, which was multiplied. However, it only comes with 2 pairs of beam sabers. My beam sabers were bent, not a big deal. It's the standard kind of, beam sabers. Plug it in like that, and then you take it, and then you can just put it in the hand exactly like that. And then if you want to store them, there are these gray pegs. There are 3 of them, and then you can just put them in like that. We will get into the backpack after we get into the shield. Here's the shield. Yes, it does have a very obviously ugly yellow sticker. Whatever, not a big deal. It does once again have a lot of nice molded in detailing. The back is all gray and has some pretty nice color separation except for this yellow piece. I really don't know why this couldn't just be a separate piece, but it is a $22 model kit. However, I do still expect a little bit better. This is a pretty, come on. I get the lens, but not this. It does have a handle, and it's just held up by this handle right here. And it actually holds up pretty well. So right here, we have the hand. I just prefer to take this off. And you want to note that it does have a little bit of a slope. This slope is going to face the top of the shield. So keep that in mind for whenever you're putting this on the hand. So you're just going to want to unsandwich the hand. It is a little bit tough, but you just got to get it at the right angle. All right. And then you're just going to want to slot this right in there. And usually you want the fingers facing out, and then you're just going to want to kind of slide this in here, and then just try your best to peg it in. It's a little bit difficult, but there you go. You got it. And then you just put in the ball joint right there, and then you just peg it into the wrist. Slap the shield on it. The shield does sit a little bit low, a little bit lower than I would like personally, but not really the biggest deal. Everything else about this Gundam makes up for the shield that it's kind of meh. So right here we have the backpack with the shoulder machine gun and then this really cool tri beam saber hilt. We're going to start with the beam saber holder. It does have a nice rotation, and it can go up about that far, and then it can go down about this far, and each one of these has an independent rotation, so you can have these all facing forward if you like, or all facing back, and then you just simply pull them out to unpeg them. Now we have the shoulder machine gun, by far the coolest out of the 2, mainly because it rotates. This part rotates right here, and it can also rotate side to side. And it also has really, really nice rubber part. This is completely rubber. It does have a hole where you peg it in there, and it is extremely solid. I've never had this fall out with me, and I've been definitely messing around with this probably a little harder than I should. And it is really, really nice detailing on it. A lot of nice molded in detail. There is plenty of places for panel lining this kit. And that is the accessories. Starting off with the comparisons, I want to start off with probably the Gundam that most resembles this one, which is the EZ8. I can definitely tell by the red eyes is kind of what gets me, and the red chin as well. These both look very, very similar, and they do really have a lot of aesthetic similarities, like these things on the shoulders. That might be it, but they both do look extremely cool next to each other for super cool customized ground Gundams. They definitely look really, really nice next to each other. Now we're going to go to another mobile suit that appeared in the show, which is the Goof Custom. The Goof Custom is extremely bulky. Oh my goodness, the EX is very skinny, but on this one just looks so detailed compared to the lot more, simplistic, older style anime, which obviously was not as hyper detailed as the CG renders. However, they still kind of look good together. The Goof Custom is a little bit, in my opinion, more detailed than the EZ8, so it does fit in a little bit more, but I really wish that they would just release just more different armor for the Goof and a brand new model kit, but just keep the same engineering. However, of course, that probably would be P Bandai, but these two do look really, really nice next to each other. Time for some more quick comparisons. Here we have it next to the GM Striker, the Origin Gym, the Monochrome front type, the Ground Gundam, the Zaku 2 Revive, and then we have the Origin Gundam. And I also want to show it next to a Federation tank from the MS Igloo set. So that's kind of the size comparison with the Federation tank. Now time for some more general comparisons. Here we have it with a Lego minifigure. We have Aaron. A standard 6-inch figure, we have the Black Series 212. Then we have it with a Transformer. We have Studio Series Deluxe Class Bumblebee Movie Sunstreaker. And then we have it with the Sharpie. So these are all the comparisons I have to show you today. Now it's time to answer the question, is this the best high grade of 2024? It's up to your personal preference. For me, definitely has a good spot. I would have to look through all the Gundams I built, but this definitely is a good spot of being the best. However, if you don't like the design of the Gundam EX, then it kind of does ruin the aesthetics for you. But if you can find this kit in person or online, I would 100% recommend picking it up. This kit is a blast to build, and it is very unique. Thank you all for watching the video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.